On MorningLine, thanks for joining us. This is Hispanic Heritage Month through October 15th. With us is Diana Perez, Conexion Americas. She did a nice job of talking about their mission to build community, create opportunities for the Latino community here to integrate more and get to know and be part of the community. One way of doing that is getting the businesses going, and one wonderful way to just connect with everyone, one community to another, is through food. And you have something called a Culinary Incubator that you guys, it was a commercial kitchen. What is it?
Yes, this is the name of the program is Mesa Comal Culinary Incubator.
Okay.
We're very proud of it. It's been getting a lot of media attention lately. And Mesa Comal is an industrial kitchen, a licensed kitchen where you can come and prep your food, whether you have a food truck or a catering company or a wholesale.
So, and here's some video of that. So you can go there, prepare that there, and then take it out with your truck?
Correct.
Okay, and so it's a kitchen. There it is, yeah.
So this is a Mesa Comal Cafe, which is an extension of our Mesa Comal Culinary Incubator. And this is...
See, there's those tacos I'm talking about. I love those. All right, we'll go on.
Yes, this is Carlos Ruiz Tacos. Carlos is the chef that is right now running the Mesa Comal Cafe.
Okay.
And this is at Belmont. So Mesa Comal Cafe, as I was saying, this is the extension of the Mesa Comal Culinary Incubator. The plan is that all the chefs that are currently part of the Culinary Incubator at Casa Safran, at some point they will rotate and they will run the Mesa Comal Cafe.
Okay.
So people, students mainly, will not get only the experience of right now, let's say, our cutlery's food, but they will get...
they learn how to run a business.
Right, they will learn how to run the business, but I would say the customers will come and experience different food in the future. It's not just this.
So the idea is if I were to go 1 week or the next week, it may be a different type of food.
Not as soon, but definitely will be...
Every month or so, or whatever, that rotates out, different ones.
Mm-hmm.
Have a lot of people participated in it? I mean, it's being used. And I'm wondering if some of them are learning, and are they trying to strike out on their own then, starting a food truck or maybe opening a business of their own?
So we have, at the Mesa Comal Culinary Incubator, we have about 27 entrepreneurs running their business.
Okay.
Right. Of these 27, at some point, will be part of the Mesa Comal Cafe. I know it's kind of confusing because it's the similar name.
Sure.
But yes, so the idea is that all of them will have their opportunity the chance to experience how it is to run a business or a restaurant.
That's a great idea. Just a wonderful idea. We've got a phone call I want to take from Ann, if we will, as we make our way. Ann, good morning. Hi, Ann.
Good morning. I worked for Metro Schools for over 20 years, and when the Latino demographic started to change, the coaches noticed that there was an influx of soccer being played on the sidelines by students. And the soccer program in Metro Schools was formed, and within years, the soccer population in this town was just immense and everywhere. If you support the soccer program here in Nashville, you can thank the students who came into our schools early on, because that's when it started. I'm glad to see this program. There's the International Fair that's done every year, and that highlights it, and the Latino population is a big portion of that. So I didn't know about your kitchen, and I'm glad to hear that's being done, because there is a need for a healthy food source and a place to prepare the program's food. So I thank you for your work, and I appreciate this program, and y'all have a good day.
Thank you, Ann.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much.
That's really interesting what Ann said just about the kids when they first came here. You know, let's just face it. I would imagine the level of play.
Yes, that's a great
took
point.
a huge jump, because these are kids who, instead of maybe starting playing baseball or football, were playing soccer from a young age. And then they've come here, and she's probably right. That's one big reason we have such a huge following here.
Yes, and I really love that she brought this up, and I love that part of integrating an immigrant kid is not just, okay, here's the system, learn the system, but I'm learning what is that you like, how can I make this place better for you. So yes, we're gonna open a space for you to, if you like the sports, the soccer, if you like to do this, if remember Glencliff had a mariachi band. So it's just both cultures coming together.
Right.
And I love that this is happening at the school level.
Yeah.
Right.
And all students then, regardless of their background, are going to decide, I like soccer, I want to play mariachi. And it's not necessarily just the Latino kids. And some of the Latino kids may say, you know what, I don't really care for soccer, I want to play baseball.
Right.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
And that's the way it should be, is they just make their way about. All right, so the sports part of it, the food part of it, I just wanted to ask you just a bit more about the food. I mean, there's so many of the restaurants. Give us some, I mean, I'm sure you've sampled and you're aware of the places that you think are really good. Talk about some of the restaurants that and the type of foods that maybe some people aren't familiar with that they should try. If you don't mind, I'm talking about your own personal experience.
Yeah. Well, as I mentioned earlier, I am a secret mission to talk about Colombian culture everywhere I go.
Okay.
So definitely you need to try Colombian food.
What is Colombian food and how does it differ from Mexican food, if you will?
Yes, it's very different. We have fish, of course. We have soups. We have, like for example, we do have beans, right? In part of our plates, you will find beans, but it's not refried beans the way the Mexican culture does it. It's just a full bean, or it can be a soup of beans. I could eat these every day. Patacones, which is the plantain, the green plantain.
Okay, which is like a banana.
Which is like a banana in the form, but it's completely different.
Yes, it doesn't. Yeah, it's different. It doesn't taste like a banana, but it looks like it.
Don't eat it raw.
Yeah, don't eat it.
Don't eat it raw. You have to cook it.
Yeah, it's kind of bitter if you take a bite.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get this green plantain. You cut it. You put it in the fry. Smash it. Put it again, and there you go.
It's a patty, a fried plantain patty.
That's kind of like a patty,
which is delicious.
And it will go with fish. It will go with a fried steak.
Because it's not really sweet.
It's not sweet.
Yeah.
It's not sweet.
More like a potato kind of cake almost. I mean, it doesn't taste like a potato, but it's not sweet like something you would think if you did a banana patty.
Right, no, not at all. It will go like it's salty.
Yep.
And I will eat that every day. And you can find a plantain, I call it patacones, on any dish in Colombia.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then tacos, things like that. Do you have lengua?
Of course.
All right, see, I always tell people, I like lengua tacos. And they're like, what's that, Nick? And it's like, well, lengua, think language, tongue.
It's the tongue of the cow.
Okay, so, and that's whether it's Colombia, Mexico, I mean, tongue is a staple, it's a dish that you'll eat.
Yes, we in Colombia we don't eat it the way Mexican cook it. Like
they'll dice it up and everything, and then they'll season it like they would pastor or anything else, and then they'll put it on a taco.
Right.
So really, if no one tells you, you don't even really know it's tongue.
You don't even really know. And it's really tasty.
Yeah, it's good.
It's really tasty.
It really comes down to how it's seasoned, if you ask me.
Yeah, exactly, as everything.
Yeah,
but in Colombian plate, you will put it as a whole plate, and the whole, well, not the whole because that's big, but a big kind
piece
of like piece of the
meat. Okay, it's interesting because it's fairly lean, but it's kind of a greasy meat as you eat it. It's weird. Anyway, that's tongue. I don't want to get too much into that. But what I do think, and you and I both agree on this, what I find so fascinating about some of my favorite Mexican taco trucks here in town that I go to and stuff, you can try to replicate it. And the basics of the meat and how you cook it and stuff, grilling it and all, I guess we can all reproduce that. What I can't reproduce is the seasoning. And that's what it comes down to, I think, for almost all these foods. Yes, you can figure out how long to cook it, the preparation, do it with the best ingredients, but it's the seasoning that makes all the difference. And whether it's cumin, what type of peppers they're using, the salt, I can't reproduce it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's hard. And when I came here, I don't think I tried tacos before in Colombia because this is purely Mexican. So when I came here and I started tasting these tacos, the tortilla itself for me as a Colombian was really simple. Not much flavor.
Are the tortillas there typically flour or corn?
It could be. So
either one in Colombia?
In Colombia, we don't, you can find them.
Okay.
But it's not a part of
Gotcha, that's a Mexican
Colombian,
dish.
yeah,
Okay.
that's a Mexican dish, and I know Mexican will eat it like the more authentic will be corn tortilla.
Okay.
And then I started learning about the culinary culture of Mexico, and the tortilla is not like, to me, it didn't have much flavor, but then when you put the meat on, and when you have to be very intentional of the taste of the seasoning of the meat, and then it will come this beautiful combination of, now I like tortillas really, and corn tortillas, which is very authentic.
Yeah.
Because people that is not used to eat tacos or tortillas will choose the flour tortilla.
Sure. Some people have their preferences on that.
Right.
Are there now? One other thing I've sampled and seen differences in countries, like a Guatemalan tamale, as opposed to a Mexican tamale, or not? Are there tamales in Colombia?
Yes, there are.
Now, are they different? Because I'll be honest with you, I've tried them. I like them both. I prefer the Mexican tamale to the Guatemalan tamale. And I'm not sure exactly how to define the difference. I love them, but there are differences. Is Colombian? Are they a little different? Those tamales?
Yes, Colombian tamales are big, and that could be a whole dish.
Really?
Like,
So
it could be kind of like a bowl of the.
But it's still mesa. It's still mesa flour, is it not? Do they wrap it in the corn husks and steam it?
Yes, they do that. We do that. But then you'll find a whole dish inside.
Okay.
A full chicken leg, or if it's pork. It really is just one dish. I mean, it's delicious.
Yeah, that's all right. So, would you say all these that we're talking about? Some people out there watching might have tried some or might want to. If you go to some of the areas in Nolensville Road, can you find just about all of this? Would you say?
Yes, I think there is a lot of, like, if you go drive through the how do we call it, the international corridor. Yes, absolutely. You'll find Colombian, you'll find Mexican food, you'll find Peruvian, Venezuelan, which is we're getting a lot of new Venezuelan restaurants. Yeah, all kind of cultures.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, go visit that. The food. We can talk about the food the whole time. We may do another one where we bring in examples and things like this so we can sample them all and all that. But yeah, I wanted to talk about some other stuff, you know, that's just going on to cover it because it is Hispanic Heritage Month. Latino Storytellers.
Oh, yay.
All right, this is interesting. What is that?
Yeah, so this is an event that is being led by the Tennessean David Plazas specifically. He is the one organizing all this event, and he has an newsletter coming, I believe it's every week, called Latino Voices. And then from these Latino Voices, where he had interviewed leaders of the community and Latino people, then it came this event where he chose 4 Latinos to be part of a panel of a lineup for storytellers, and
and you're going to be part of it to share, well, which you'll be very good. You'll talk like you are here, sharing stories. It's the next one. I think is October 13th.
It's October 13th. This is the first Latino Storytellers.
And where will
event.
that be? Is it going to be at?
This is going to be a Plaza. No, it's going to be a Plaza Mariachi.
Okay, all right.
Yes, at the Cenote.
So when you say Latino Storytellers, and it'll be open to people to come and listen.
Absolutely.
But what's the stories? I get a sense. What will you talk about, and what will others? And what is this about, the storytellers?
So I'm so honored to be part of this lineup of people that have made great impact in the community. We have Judge Ana Escobar, and we have Fabian Benne, which was a council member and is still working for the city. And then you come. What I'm going to talk is about my story as an immigrant. I'm just recently learning about me, and it's just very timely because I can share this. The cultural shock is real, so I'm happy to share about that.
So when you say the culture shock, you're talking about when you first came here 10 years ago, or continuing today? What do you mean?
No, when I came here, I was absolutely fine.
Okay.
Yes, of course there are challenges, there are opportunities, stepping out of your comfort zone every often. But then the cultural shock came to me when I got this beautiful people, but English, Spanish wasn't really required. So I started feeling putting pressure on me. And even though I was kind of fluent in English back then, the language barrier was a thing.
More so
the
than
cultural. When I started, and mostly because it's a very southern culture here, and I'm from the coast. I'm loud. I joke. I sometimes I'm very sarcastic, and so can you imagine this with a group of people that is very southern Tennesseans?
Okay, a little different.
It's just very different. Of course, I've learned so much, but the process is hard.
How did that culture shock hit you then? I mean, did it cause you to become more introverted, at least initially?
Absolutely.
Or it did. Does depression come with that?
Yes, absolutely. So I came here as a very confident woman, and I say, I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna smile, head my head up, just do it. I'm gonna make it work. And then this hit, and I'm like, I'm not fitting.
Yeah.
I will leave meetings and I'm crying. I'm like, I don't, doubting myself, how I look, how I talk, what I say. Oh, did I say this? And second guessing all the time. But I had an amazing support group around me, including coworkers and the place where I was working at. But it took me a couple of years to go through this.
Okay.
I only knew I wasn't gonna quit to that situation. But it was hard, and I learned, and I'm a new person, and I'm so happy to be here and learn about the culture here too.
I think I'm so glad you share that. We have to take a break, but maybe we'll touch a little more on that, and it's more, of some of the other services offered. But just, if you're wondering what she just described, I'm trying to imagine myself. If all of a sudden you just dropped me in a country where I didn't know the language well, and it was very different culturally from what I was used to, there's just no doubt. There's a transition period. Maybe some handle it, and I think you've handled it beautifully, but I don't doubt for a couple years there it was rough.
It's hard.
It is. All right, we'll take a break on that note. We'll come back, our final segment with our fine guest right after this. Stay with us.